everyone, this is Karen.
Hello everybody, I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of political correctness, a war of words. And the vocabulary words are offend.
Offend.
Personally, I was offended by Trent's joke.
I thought it was funny.
It's not funny.
Sorry. Profession.
Profession.
Like many professions, becoming a doctor takes a lot of hard work.
Conservative.
Conservative.
Many conservatives feel the country has gotten away from its traditional values.
Criticize.
Criticize.
Parents shouldn't criticize each other in front of their children.
But behind their backs?
It's okay.
Physically.
Physically.
Sarah still had trouble sleeping even though she had physically recovered from the accident.
Nightmares.
So we're talking about political correctness. What does that really mean?
So to be politically correct means to choose your language, choose words that are inclusive.
Okay.
And don't hurt the feelings of people from any group.
Okay, so an example would be like back in the day, people might say businessmen. So you would assume it's a man, right?
Right.
So now I think a lot of people would refer to them as business person because they could be women.
Before we had fireman, which is now
Firefighter.
Policeman.
Police officer.
Right, because there are women who do this job. So in the past, it kind of made those people feel left out. That group of people, women.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think that's a really important thing when we're using our language. So, for example, if you say someone is handicapped, they might feel like, oh, I don't have the ability to do something. But whereas if you use physically challenged, maybe they feel a little bit better.
It's like a challenge that they can overcome.
Exactly.
Some people might think that we should have free speech. We shouldn't be telling people what they should say and what they shouldn't say.
Yes.
But I don't really think this is about that. Right?
I think it's being considerate of other people, right?
Okay. Well, let's learn more about political correctness.
All right, enjoy.
Enjoy.
Political correctness, a war of words. One of the most important lessons parents teach their children is how to be polite. Children learn basic manners and how to treat everyone with respect. However, even the most polite person may still offend another with their words, and that's what political correctness aimed to curb at first. But is it getting in the way of progress?
Today's lesson is called Political Correctness, a War of Words, Part 1. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I am Mike. Yes, we're talking about political correctness or being politically correct, as some people would describe it. This is the sort of words that we use and how we need to be careful with certain words because they can cause offense. They can seem to be rude, even if you don't feel that they're rude. Other people might feel that they're rude, and that's why some sensitivity is required. But it can be difficult for people, especially people who are new to the English language and Western cultures, to know which words to use and why you need to be careful with some words. So for today and tomorrow, we're going to explore this interesting topic.
Be careful with your words, everyone. Okay, and now this is political correctness. So you're going to hear this term quite a lot, but it's just a way of saying be careful with how you say things and refer to certain groups of people, so on and so forth. Anyways, one of the most important lessons parents teach their children is how to be polite. Say the right things, i.e. be polite. Don't offend others when you speak. Yes, children learn basic manners and how to treat everyone with respect. That's the idea. The whole idea of being polite, of having manners, is to show other people that you respect them, okay? So this all makes sense up to this point. But we still have to watch our words, even if we had the best parents in the world.
That's right. It's always good to show people respect, not to hurt their feelings. But the article goes on to say, however, even the most polite person may still offend another person with their words. And that's what political correctness aimed to curb at first.
At the beginning, and some people think that this has gotten out of hand. Anyways, you might be a polite person. You might have had the best parents in the world and they taught you really well, but you might, I should say, still offend someone with what you say, even if you don't mean to. Anyways, if you offend someone, you make them upset. You're kind of put off by someone's rudeness, even though that person might not have meant to be rude. Yeah, they're not trying to insult you, let's say, but you still take offense to what they've said, or you are offended. Yeah, offense in this situation would be the noun, offend is the verb. For example, personally, I was offended by Trent's joke. Yes, he told a joke about a Polish person. I'm of Polish descent, so I didn't think that was funny. I was a little bit offended.
No, you felt it was rude. He hurt your feelings.
That's
he wasn't
what I
being
said, yep.
sensitive to you. All right. But this is the question we have before we reach our break. But is it getting in the way of progress? So political correctness started with these very good intentions to avoid offending people, but the question is it political correctness? Is it getting in the way of progress? Are people too afraid to say things? Are we watching our words a little too much now? That's a tough question, an interesting question, and we'll explore it more after the break.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。这2天的课文是关于 political correctness。政治正确性，我们从小呢就开始学习基本礼仪，学习尊重别人。不过，即使是最有礼貌的人，也有可能因为他们的言语敏感度不够高，而冒犯到另外一个人。那么，政治正确性最初的目的就是要抑制这样的事情。不过，政治正确性发展到后来，有些人却觉得失控，太超过了。那么 Jeff 老师用到 out of hand， 它是表达失去控制、失控。那常见的用法是 be out of hand 或者是 get out of hand。好，那么 Mike 老师则是用到 sensitivity 来表达敏感性、敏感度，它是拼作 sensitivity sensitivity。好，那么另外我们课文单字 offend。offend 它是动词，表示冒犯、触怒或是得罪。它的名词 offense 则是指冒犯、得罪。那老师在解释单字时用到 put somebody off 这个片语呢，是表达惹某人讨厌、使某人反感的意思。像 Jeff 老师有举例说，如果有人讲了关于波兰人的笑话，那么有波兰血统的人可能会觉得被冒犯，这时候老师用到 Polish 是形容波兰的。那么 descent D-E-S-C-E-N-T descent 表示血统、出身。好，那我们刚刚说到，那就是政治正确性最初的目的。那这边用到3个重点。第一个，文中的 That's what 怎么样怎么样，表示那就是什么什么。那么 what 是用来引导名词子句去当主词补语用，我们就来学习这样的用法，就是 WH 疑问词引导名词子句来当主词补语。好 ，WH 疑问词像是 what、where、why、how 等等，可以引导名词子句在句中当作主词、受词或是主词补语用。那这个名词子句当作主词补语的时候，是用来补充说明主词，而常见的句型是主词 is why、where 或是 how 等等，加主词加动词来表达什么什么是什么的原因、什么的地点、什么的方式等等。来看2个例句 ，That's how we met。意思就是，那就是我们相遇的方式。This is what I've been looking for。这正是我一直在寻找的东西。第2个重点 ，aim 当动词，它表示打算、企图。我们可以用 aim to 加动词，或者是 aim for 加名词或动名词来表达致力于怎么样，打算要怎么样，以什么什么为目标。举例来说 ，She aims to visit 20 countries by the end of this year。她打算在今年年底之前去20个国家。第3个重点 ，at first 它表示一开始、起初。例如 Gina and Jake didn't get along at first, but they eventually became good friends. Gina 和 Jake 一开始处得不好，但最后变成了好朋友。介绍课文中。
Political correctness, a war of words. In short, political correctness is the act of choosing words carefully in order to be more inclusive and not upset any particular group of people. For example, people might use the word business person rather than businessman to help include women in the profession. Over the years, the term has been used in many ways. Starting in the 1970s, it was used to make fun of the American political left for focusing on something that was seen as unimportant to their cause. In the 1990s, American conservatives used the term to criticize universities for making certain topics off limits. To them, political correctness went against free thinking, and proponents of political correctness were described as the thought police.
The term is political correctness. It's kind of like being polite for adults for the most part. Anyways, yes, in short, political correctness is the act of choosing words carefully in order to be more inclusive and not upset any particular group of people. So when you refer to some group of people, be careful with what you say or how you refer to them. That's what political correctness is all about, okay? We're not calling anyone names, okay? We know that's bad, but we want to be careful that when we do refer to someone that we don't offend them. That's extremely important.
Now here's a really good example that we've probably all used and certainly heard. For example, people might use the word business person rather than businessman to help include women in the profession. You know, if we're talking about people who do that, oh, a business person would go to university to study economics or something like that instead of saying a businessman. In the same way, a police officer, instead of a policeman, a mail carrier instead of a postman. You know, these types of things because, of course, thousands of women do these jobs, so using the word man in the job title doesn't really make sense. This is what we would do for different professions. What is a profession? Basically, it's a job and or a career, all right? So if someone wants to know what you do for your living, what you do to make money, they might say, what's your job? Or they might say, what's your profession? Maybe a profession is something that you studied for in university or something like that, but still, basically, it's your job, it's your career, it's your working life. For example, like many professions, becoming a doctor takes a lot of hard work.
So there you go. Advanced politeness for adults. People have been saying businessman, let's say, businessman, for years and years and years, but do only men do business? No. So come on, let's change the language. You know better. We don't need to gender that term. So make it gender neutral, business person. Anyways, over the years, the term political correctness has been used in many ways. Starting in the 1970s, it was used to make fun of the American political left for focusing on something that was seen as unimportant to their cause. So why are you focusing on this? It's not going to help you achieve anything. People were needled on the American left for doing this.
Okay, and then a couple of decades later, in the 1990s, American conservatives used the term to criticize universities for making certain topics off limits. That's right, the 1990s saw this political correctness move into universities, into education. People had to be careful of the terms they use for different groups of people and things like that. And certain conservatives in America were using it to sort of criticize universities for teaching what they believe and not what another group would believe. And it got very, very complicated.
It got very, very complicated. I grew up in the 1990s in America. These conservatives, well, they were not a fan of political correctness, and that remains the same, or it remains true today. By the way, a conservative here, we're talking about a person in the United States that's probably a member of the Republican Party. But usually when you're talking about a conservative or a conservative person, you're talking about a person who likes old things, as in traditions, okay? They might believe in traditional beliefs and think it's not necessary to progress or to move beyond those particular things. The opposite of a conservative would be a liberal, someone who favors progress, wants to do new things, doesn't see traditions as being so important. Anyways, for example, many conservatives feel the country has gotten away from its traditional values. There you go. So you can be a conservative, that's the noun, or you can say that someone is conservative, so you can use it as an adjective as well. And yes, in the 1990s, these conservatives, boy, were they ever criticizing political correctness.
Absolutely, and they still are today. To criticize is to point out the problems, the flaws, the mistakes, the bad things about something. If you don't like something and you want to tell people why, you'll criticize that thing. You won't just say, I don't like it. You'll say, I don't like it because, and then you'll point out the things that you don't like. Now, this can be done in a helpful way to kind of help people improve things, but it can also be done in sort of a way to attack people and make them feel bad and point out their weaknesses or something. So how you criticize is very important, but it's to point out the problems or flaws or things that are not so good. For example, parents shouldn't criticize each other in front of their children. Moms and dads fighting in front of the kids or criticizing is not good for the family.
Now, more on these American conservatives in the 1990s. To them, to these people, political correctness went against free thinking, and proponents of political correctness were described as the thought police. Yeah, don't say what you're really thinking. You've got to put a filter on your mouth and on your brain. Oh, that's thought police. We can't think freely because of these politically correct liberals. That's what these conservatives in America were saying. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
政治正确性是指慎选用字的行为，以便能够更具有包容性，不会惹恼任何特定族群。像是以 business person 来取代 businessman， 来帮助女性融入这样的行业。那么单字 profession 它可以指向某个职业的全体人员，或者是同业，或者是可以表达可能需要高等教育或是训练的职业专业。刚刚 Jeff 老师用到 gender neutral 是用来形容中性的、性别中立的，其中的 gender 是拼作 gender 表示性别，那么 neutral 是 neutral， 它是形容中立的，所以 gender neutral 这个复合形容词就是性别中立。好，那么课文有提到说，在1990年代，美国保守党用政治正确这个词来批评大学限制某些话题。他们认为说，如果思想需要过滤，那就不算是自由思想了。那我们补充一下，过滤的英文是 filter。filter 当动词表示过滤，当名词可以指过滤器啊，或者是滤网。好，再来看单字 conservative。当名词它是指保守者、守旧者，当形容词是形容保守的、守旧的。那这个单字呢，常常用大写来表达保守党的党员或是支持者。好，那在美国，共和党是属于比较保守的党派。Jeff 老师有提到 Republican Party 就是指共和党咯。那老师还有用到 liberal 这个字 liberal，liberal 当名词可以指自由主义者、自由派人士，那么当形容词就是形容开明的、自由的。好，下一个单字 criticize 这个动词表示批评。接华课文中。
Political correctness, a war of words. While some people mock the idea, others believe that the language we use shapes our reality. For example, calling someone physically challenged rather than handicapped could make them seem more equal to others in society.
Now, some people, they don't like the idea of political correctness. Yes, choosing your words carefully, that's important, but you can go too far. That's what American conservatives believed there in the 1990s. Now, while some people, like these American conservatives, while they mock the idea of political correctness, others believe that the language we use shapes our reality. So language is super important.
Yeah, here's a good example. For example, calling someone physically challenged rather than handicapped could make them seem more equal to others in society. All right, that was the old term. If you saw someone in a wheelchair, you'd say that's a handicapped person. And 20, 30 years ago, that would have been kind of okay and acceptable. But then we're still putting a box around them. We're still putting them in a separate category. If we say they're physically challenged, well, we're all kind of physically challenged in a way. If I try to play in the NBA, I'm physically challenged. I'm too short. But it doesn't limit my life to just one type of thing or being one type of person. All right, so that's why these languages or the words we choose can sort of shape reality and can change the way we think in sometimes good ways.
Yeah. Anyways, physically, that's the adverb. It comes from the term physical. Physical versus mental. Usually when you're talking about the mental aspect of something, you're talking about your mind and how it comes into play with things. If you're talking about the physical aspect of things, you're talking about things that actually exist, like our bodies. So to say that someone's physically challenged, it means that bodily they've got some issues or some challenges, I should say. Yes, the word physically is the adverb. An example sentence could be, Sarah still had trouble sleeping even though she had physically recovered from the accident. So her body is fine now, but mentally she might still be traumatized or going through some tough stuff. Okay, folks, that's it for part 1 of our lesson on political correctness. We'll see you next time with more on political correctness.
好，课文写到，有些人嘲笑政治正确性这个想法，而有些人则认为我们使用的语言塑造了我们的现实状况。举例来说，我们用行动不便的来描述坐轮椅的人，可能会使他们在社会上更平等，而不是用残障的把他们归在一个特殊类别里面。那么 Mike 老师刚刚用到 wheelchair 就是轮椅，还有用到 category。category， 它就表示种类类别。好，再来看单字 physically， 它是副词，表示身体上的。那么 Jeff 老师有用到 bodily， 就是 body 去掉 y 再加 ily 变成形容词 bodily， 就是身体的。那么单字例句有提到说 Sarah 因为事故所受的伤已经复原了，但她还是睡不好，也许是心灵受到创伤吧。那么老师这时候用到 traumatize 这个动词 traumatize traumatize 就可以表达使精神受创。那这边还有2个重点哦。第一个是 some 什么什么 others 什么什么，是用来列举没有限定范围的人事物，来表达有些怎么样，有些怎么样。像是 many students are on the playground, some are running, others are playing basketball. 许多学生在操场上，有些在跑步，有些在打篮球，还没有列举完。好，那么 some 和 other 也可以当形容词用，那么用法是 some 名词怎么样，other 名词怎么样？那为了避免重复名词，后面这个 other 名词呢，也可以用代名词 others 来代替。像是 While some people like summer, others prefer winter. 有些人喜欢夏天，而有些人喜欢冬天。那我们这边就是用代名词 others 来取代 other people。那么连接词 while 在这边是而，用来对照2组人事物。好，第2个重点 shape。它当动词表示塑造、形成，或者是表达影响什么的发展。例如 His experience in the military shaped his political views. 他在军中的经历塑造了他的政治立场。好，那么以上今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Hello everybody， 欢迎来到一魂妖字大解析，我是 Holly。
Welcome everybody, I am Shane, and here is confusing words. What are the confusing words today? Skinny. Why are you laughing at me? Slim. Thin. 3 words.
I'm laughing because I don't think you're skinny. Skinny 第一个字 ，OK。它就是骨瘦如柴的，就是身材上你可能就会觉得我看到很多 骨头。
The feeling is you see bones, just like skin and bone, no meat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you could say the fashion industry is often criticized for using such skinny models.
OK， 所以时尚界呢，因为使用非常消瘦的模特儿而受到批评。那第二个字呢 ，slim。 哦，这个字就是苗条的。那这个字通常呢，就是比 skinny 那一个字还更有正面的意思。
Yeah, it feels healthy.
对，感觉是健康的。
So you are skinny, but not too skinny. So it gives you the feeling that good. Right?
Yeah.
So for example, Jan is trying to keep slim by exercising regularly.
OK， 所以这样呢，透过规律的运动，保持身材的苗条。
Okay. The last one, thin.
Thin，
So thin can kind of mean like skinny or slim,
对，
but you can also use it for things.
没错。
Right.
所以它除了可以用来指就是人很瘦的意思之外呢，你也可以就是说任何东西很瘦，比如说这张纸也很薄这样子。
Right.
所以不一定是指人。
But for a person, for example, you can say he is too thin. He needs to eat more.
哦，他太瘦了，他应该多吃一点。
Okay, well, if you still feel a little bit confused, I know where we can clear up this confusion.
Live action. Do I look fat?
Of course not. You look slim and beautiful, as usual.
I'm serious. I gained a lot of weight during the holidays. I feel super fat. I need to go on a diet.
Don't be ridiculous. You're already very thin. Don't get too skinny. You look more healthy and beautiful with a little meat on your bones.
But I want to be skinny like a supermodel.
Supermodels are way too skinny. It looks unhealthy and a little bit scary, to be honest.
I guess you're right. But I definitely want to be more slim and fit. I definitely need to start going back to the gym.
I can totally understand that. Although I really think you look great just the way you are, getting more exercise is always a good idea. In fact, I'll join you. I need to get back to the gym too. I also ate way too much over the holidays.
You're sweet. Let's go to the gym together. That way I can make sure you don't flirt with other girls when you're at the gym.
I would never do that. I only have eyes for you, my little fatty.
I hate you!
Don't be like that, my little piggy.